Alright, what is going on, guys? It is Benny, and today we're going to be playing a little bit of Mortarbait, but I wanted to talk about a bit of a change that I'm seeing in the meta, and that is going to be that Skeleton King is in every single deck. I don't really know why, I don't know how this is a thing, but Skeleton King seems to be the most dominant card. That was an amazing log, by the way. That was actually kind of crazy that we got that. But Skeleton King, it's everywhere. So I've actually been seeing Skeleton King in Mortarbait, which is pretty crazy. It's, you know, it's not something that you would typically see with Mortarbait, so I wanted to pass that on for you guys. Now the Firecracker is going to take this out. I actually prefer the Firecracker version of Mortarbait. However, Musketeer is just as good. I just find that personally, with the way that I play and my play style, Firecracker goes a little bit better for me, and with my strengths, we're going to absolutely slam this kid right here. There's no way he can defend this. I'm even going to pop that ability, and that is going to be Tower Down right here, I think, or at the very least very close to Tower Down. So that is going to be very, very good right off the start. I can't believe this. But Skeleton King is one of those cards that's absolutely amazing, and I'm just seeing it in every single deck in the meta that we have right now, so definitely would recommend trying that out. I think this guy gave up, so let's just go right on into the next one. Alright guys, next matchup now with my first play. Obviously we need to go for the Mortar because we are reckless. He's going to play the Witch, so this guy is going for a big push right off the start, so we better be ready. Ram Rider as well. I'll play the Firecracker, and then maybe I'll play the Skeleton King just to kind of charge up that ability. Interesting deck. Ram Rider and Witch. What can you guys tell me if you're watching this? If you know what it is, like what is your guys' guess? Because I'm a little bit lost here, but he does have Cannoneer, so that could work in our favor in the long run here, especially as we start to pop that Skeleton King ability. He's gonna play the Wizard, but I think we'll probably get some. That is the most effective Wizard I have ever seen. I don't think I've seen that happen in a while. I'm gonna log there. We were a little bit late. Please do not take a mini Pekka hit, and then the Wizard will lock onto the tower. That's actually kind of perfect for us, because if he locked onto the Spear Goblins, it would have stayed alive a lot longer, and then the Spear Goblins are going to get some damage on that Firecracker, so we're going to get a lock here 100%. There's no way around it. So that is good. He went a little bit too aggressive there, so that really works out in our favor. And then, ooh, what do I want to do? I'm going to Skeleton King back here, because I want to try to pull that Witch a little bit closer so that we have the tower support, at least for the Skeletons. Tower is taking out the Witch. That was a beautiful play. I'm going to be honest, that made me look a lot smarter than I actually am. And then I'll play the Skeleton Barrel here. Let's get a Goblin Gang into the other lane. He's going to play the arrows. Okay, let's pop the Skeleton King ability here. We're going to get all of that on the tower. Let's get some more Spear Goblins into the other lane as well. We're going to get some really good damage, but obviously that Wizard is going to clear up quite a bit. But the Spear Goblins are MVPs. Oh my gosh, that is crazy damage. Holy crap. Okay, that is amazing. We are geniuses. I'll just log the Wizard here, but obviously we are in a position right now to have that tower down. The only thing is whatever his counter push is going to be, and you'll see here he's going to play the Pekka, so we know that a massive push is coming for us. So I'm going to use the defensive Evo Mortar just because that gives us a little bit of extra defense, and I can feel a little bit more confident with that. I'm going to play the Firecracker up high. Monk is interesting. Let's play the Skeleton King opposite lane. I'm going to try to get that 3-card cycle going, and then let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to Fireball right here. We're going to get great value on all of that, and then I'm going to log here as well. Let's play another Mortar just to get that pull going. I'm going to get an Evil Firecracker here as well. Skeleton King's going to get pulled. Let's get some Spear Goblins here. Ooh, his Evil Firecracker is going to lock onto mine. I'm going to log there, and then we are going to take all of that out. Let's pop the Skeleton King ability just because he has Cannoneer, and that will distract the cannon for a little bit and be kind of annoying. But that Ram Rider is definitely not getting on our tower, and we should get the Mortar on the tower. Let's get a Goblin Gang in the pocket, and that's going to be a 3-crown win for us. So let's give him a good game, give him a good luck, and go on into the next one. Alright guys, next matchup, I'm not going to pretend like I know how to pronounce that name, so we're just going to play the Mortar here first play. Okay, Cannon is interesting. Cannon, I can work with that. Okay, I'm going to play the Spear Goblins into the opposite lane. Let's get a little bit of damage. Also, one thing I want to point out with this deck, guys, is don't be afraid to get that 3-card cycle with your Skeleton King. So, you know, I'm going to not be afraid to play it just to try to get something happening. If he logs on the right side, then I'm going to pop that Skeleton King ability. Let's actually get a Skeleton Barrel going here as well. We'll get that split lane pressure. I'm going to pop the ability here because that will actually help take out the recruits a little bit. Maybe not the most valuable ability, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's going to help a little bit there. And because he used the arrows on the Skeleton Barrel, I'm just going to play the Firecracker here. We'll ignore that damage on the right side. It's not really a big deal. And then I guess technically he's up. Maybe it wasn't the greatest Skeleton King ability, but you know, you got to experiment. You got to use your imagination a little bit and explore. all of your possibilities. Firecracker will get that cannon quite low, but it's not really going to make a difference to us. Goblinstein just came out. We can play the Spear Goblins, and that should be enough to counter it, except for he's going to play that. Okay, what do I want to do here? You know, realistically, I could try to get a King Tower activation. We're probably going to take a bit of damage from the Firecracker just because she won't go across the bridge, but that's okay. I'm going to play the Skeleton Barrel first, and then he's going to hit me with the recruits there. That sucks. I'll play the Goblin Gang here, but because he played the recruits though, that was a little bit too aggressive for him, so we are going to get a really nice connection on the tower, and then I'm going to play the Spear Goblins low to try to incorporate the King Tower. And that one recruit just walked through everything, so we're not going to get the pull, but we are way up in in damage, sorry, so I'm not mad about this exchange so far. And then I think I can just, do I Skeleton King this instead? Actually, I'm going to Skeleton King instead of Fireball. The reason for that is because the Fireball is kind of like dead elixir, right? So yeah, like I won't take any damage, but if he's up in elixir, he could play something else and I'll have nothing to defend. By playing the Skeleton King, he has to play something more. Let's pop the Skeleton King ability here. He's probably going to recruit. There they are. So I'm going to Firecracker into the opposite lane here. That's going to allow me to play the Goblin Gang into this lane. And then I am going to log as well here. Try to get his Firecracker a little bit lower. Get those recruits lower as well. He's going to play the Wall Breakers. We should get one more shot out of our Mortar. I don't think it's going to really get much damage, but we do get the Goblin hit, plus the Spear Goblin hit, and then I'm going to play another Skeleton Barrel, because we are definitely outcycling this guy. He's going to play his Skeleton Barrel. I'm honestly tempted to go for the Skeleton King again, so we'll do that, and then let's wait and see if he pops the Goblinstein ability, just because I don't want to go too aggressive. I'm going to Fireball here, but I don't think we'll... Oh, that was beautiful. Okay, then I'm going to play the Mortar, and then do I want to pop this ability? I actually don't think I do. Oh my gosh, we got the lock on the tower, so now I'm going to pop the ability. He waited way too long to get those recruits down. By popping the ability, we will distract the recruits as well, keeping them off the Mortar a little bit longer, so we'll get some extra damage. And then, okay, I'm going to Spear Goblins right here. I'm going to have that log ready, but let's get the Skeleton King down now, because we got that in time. And then I can just log right here, get all of that away. Let's get an Evil Mortar down here now. And then I'm going to pop the ability just to keep that pressure up on this guy. I just want to have it there to help take whatever he plays out. And then I think I'll go for the Fireball here. Try to get rid of that Firecracker as well as get some good damage on the tower, because now we're in Fireball cycle range. And then I can play a Skeleton Barrel here. He's going to have to play a counter to that if he doesn't want it to get on the tower. I don't want to log quite yet though. I do need to be careful of that. Let's Firecracker into the opposite lane here. Let's get a Skeleton King right here. I'm actually going to play the Mortar as well, because that will make it a little bit easier to defend. We'll pull everything right into the same lane, and then we can just log it. That's going to be beautiful value. Alright guys, last matchup. I apologize. I had to cut that last matchup a little bit early just because my fire alarm went off in my building, so unfortunately, you know, it would not have sounded that good for you guys, but we just spell cycled the guy to get the win. This guy's going to play the E-Drag for our Mortar and Firecracker. That's interesting. That's an interesting combination. Okay, well, you know what? Every time you see E-Drag, you just got to think to yourself, probably Egolem, why wouldn't it be? I'm going to log a little bit early here to take out that Firecracker, and then let's get the Skeleton King here to take out all of this, and let's get another Mortar down. I honestly think that this guy made a horrible misplay with the way that he played that Egolem, because I can just Skeleton Barrel on this side. I can just Goblin Gang on this side, because I'm obviously going to take this guy's tower. Ooh! Oh my gosh. Okay, hold up. That is crazy. We're going to take this tower, but I actually don't know how I'm going to defend this. Maybe if I Firecracker here, then I can pull it towards the King Tower. I am a genius. Oh my gosh, I am so smart. We are going to get the King Tower activation. I'm going to Evil Mortar for the counter push here now, because the King Tower is going to absolutely just help us take that out. He's going to Firecracker to take out the Mortar, but we can just get a Skeleton Barrel in here now. And I think this guy is cooked. Honestly, I'm going to do a second matchup, okay? So I lied to you guys. This is not going to be the last matchup, I don't think, just because we're slamming this guy so hard. I feel like we have to celebrate this and give you guys a bonus matchup here. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, we're going to do one more after this. So this won't be the last matchup. I tricked you. I played a prank on you. I'm just going to play the Skeleton King here to pull that E-Drag, because I am not in the mood to deal with this. Oh my gosh, Egolem is freaking annoying in the back. We already know he's going to build up a Mega Push. Okay, how do I want to do this? I'm going to play the Mortar here to keep that Firecracker alive. It's not going to make a difference. How do I want to do this? Let's get the Spear Goblins here. Like, Evil Firecracker with Egolem is a next level toxic play, to be honest. I think that I'm going to let him take this tower, to be honest. I think that there's really no point in me trying to defend it. And then I can just play the Skeleton King right here, get that 3-card cycle. We can deal with all of this. Realistically, as long as I can defend, I can win this. I'll play the Skeleton Barrel. What? This guy has Pekka, Egolem, Mega Knight. What is going on? I gotta think here, because that is ridiculously stupid. I'm going to go aggressive on that 3-crown here, just because, you know, like, this guy's gonna have to put every single bit of elixir that's ever been invented into his push. We're gonna get the 3-crown. Holy crap, that is a weird deck. Alright, guys, now we're on the last matchup. He's gonna hog ride at first place. Sorry, buddy, you are not catching me off guard with that. I'm even gonna give him a little emote because I am, you know, just a hateful person and angry when it comes to hog rider. And then we are going to defend that. The E-Drag is going to stutter a little bit. Let's play the Skeleton Barrel, or the Skeleton King and the Skeleton Barrel here, just to kind of pressure him. And then, Ooh, okay, that's interesting. He's gonna, I don't really know why he did that, to be honest. That was kind of an early tornado to do, so we're gonna get some really good Skeleton Barrel damage there. I'm very happy with that. And we were just kind of spectating that entire thing go down, so we are definitely going to be up in elixir on this guy. Interesting hog rider again. Let's get the mortar right here. Let's get some spear goblins here as well. We are going to absolutely just demolish that hog rider. We don't really have to worry too much, and we are really dominating this guy so far. This is what happens when you try to starting hand Benny Royale with a hog rider. That's crazy. That is... Okay, what do I want to do here? What am I going to do? I guess Goblin Gang. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's Skeleton King to pull, hopefully. He's going to pre-log. I'm going to have to eat some Pekka damage here, but I could probably log just to at least stop the Pekka from taking the tower, right? So we'll take 2 hits, not 3, please. Oh my gosh, that would have been crazy. Realistically, we got really good damage still. We're up in damage on both sides. That was pretty crazy, though. I'm going to be honest, that was not something that I expected to have to deal with. I'll just use the mortar to pull this. I really don't want to let him catch up in damage, so we will defend it. Even though we're using the evil mortar, we're not really going to get any damage. That was a horrible tornado by him. And then if he plays a counter to the Skeleton Barrel, then I'm just going to Goblin Gang on this side anyways. So we got really good damage on both sides now. Probably shouldn't have played the Goblin Gang, but he's going to give it to us anyways, because he's probably going to build up a massive freaking evil Pekka push. But if he does that, then see how he did that there. So I'm going to Skeleton King opposite lane, because now we just have to defend. He's probably going to go for an E-Drag, so I can evil Firecracker and then Fireball. Let's play the defensive mortar in a position that will for sure pull a hog rider as well. Let's get some spear goblins going here. He's going to lightning because, of course, like, why wouldn't he have lightning, right? And then I can just Goblin Gang here. Okay, he's going to log defensively there. Let's get a mortar into this lane, and then I'm going to play my evil Firecracker just for good measure, make sure that we defend all of this. Let's log here, and then... Actually, I'm not even going to defend that, because I think the mortar should get close to being on the tower, so even though he can take that tower, we can just go onto this lane, and then I'm going to get a Skeleton Barrel here, and then I should be able to get a Firecracker up high. He's going to have to log on the Skeleton Barrel. Actually, okay, he's going to tornado. Oh, evil Firecracker, if it can get a shot, that's going to be a win. So let's give him a good game, let's give him a good luck. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one.